Greetings, brethren and sisters. Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, one God. Ethiopians, those at home and abroad, greetings. Today, in this important time in our life as Ethiopian people, we are asking our Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, to give us some clarity, more clearness and understanding in what he's doing to bring about the restoration of the constitutional monarchy and give us that glory as our people need to make them strong in this time. His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, as the first and the last prophet, the protector of all human faith, Mr. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, I admire you use in making peace with the Ethiopians, the Eritreans, the Egyptians, and all these people that border Ethiopia. Mr. Prime Minister, we'd like you to bring more clarity and clearness and understanding in what you're going to do about the restoration of the constitutional monarchy of Ethiopia, so that we, as a royal nation, can have that glory that belongs to us as a people. We see in Africa and other countries where people use democracy and get the people's support, and in the long run, they go back to Marxism, communism, and the same elitism that undermine our people and reduce them. We look all over the earth today and we see they're trying to bring back race hatred. We look in Algeria, we see how they treat the people who flee from other countries in Africa. Mr. Prime Minister, Ethiopia, as the horn of Africa, need back that glory that belongs to its people as a royal nation. Mr. Prime Minister, we hear that you are going to make a trip to America somewhere between 28 to 29. Mr. Prime Minister, you must and should make contact to the Crown Council and the Church of Haile Selassie I and the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. God, we are the vanguard that's been watching over Ethiopia from 1974 and agitating for the restoration of the constitutional monarchy of Emperor Haile Selassie I under Mengistu Zenawi Desalegn. Now, Mr. Prime Minister, you get the chance to do and to correct the abuse that's been meted out on our people. Ethiopia, as a royal nation, need back its glory constitutionally. Mr. Prime Minister, you take a step. You have to have that courage. Correct that abuse. Mr. Prime Minister, you must and should take down that flag and restore Ethiopia to its past glory and give the people in the Caribbean other places where Ethiopian people is, and give them that strength. Because His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, when he came to Jamaica 1966, he made a provision in Parliament that Jamaica should be a part of Ethiopia. We hear the Eritrean president when he says there are one people, Eritrea and Ethiopia. But, Mr. Prime Minister, for us to be one people, you have to use the utterance of Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I and bring back that glory to our people so they can understand the meaning of a constitutional monarchy and the strength that it gives them as a people. Not only in Ethiopia, but other African countries that is reducing themselves. That our people have to leave and go all different places in exile. Ethiopia is the base for all African countries. Ethiopia defend all freedom fighters in Africa. Mr. Prime Minister, you must use your influence. Have the courage and don't get carried away as a popular leader. Because we know how it go in the world. You watch Castro under democracy and take it to communism. You watch Africa under democracy, take it to communism, and some don't let it go. Gorbachev bring perestroika and change Europe, and them let it go. But our black Africa hold it same way. Ethiopia is the honor and the symbol of African unity. Mr. Prime Minister, it's all up to you now to have that courage and bring back Ethiopia to that past glory that you speak about. It can't be no other glory. It couldn't be Marxism, Stalinism, or elitism. Mr. Prime Minister, when you come to America, visit the Crown Council, visit the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated and the Church of Haile Selassie I. It's up to you to give back the people that glory that belongs to them to as a royal nation, that monarchy, that constitutional monarchy. From ancient times, we as Kush people, Kushites, Abyssinian, Ethiopian, give us back that glory. Have that courage, Mr. Prime Minister. May His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I give you that strength to carry out that struggle and to free our people and free Africa. As Imperial Majesty established the Organization of African Unity. So, Mr. Prime Minister, the call is upon you to carry out that aim and objective of His Imperial Majesty, the first and the last prophet, the protector of all human faith, His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, one God.
Your greetings again in the name of Emperor Haile Selassie I. Long live the dynasty and the government of Emperor Haile Selassie I. Today, we are in Jamaica, 29 Oxford Street, Kingston, Jamaica, the Church of Haile Selassie I and the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation. And our struggle today is for the liberation of Ethiopia and the restoration of the government and dynasty of Emperor Haile Selassie I. Mr. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, we are calling on you and your government today to put more emphasis on the restoration struggle that we are carrying in the Caribbean, and put more emphasis on bringing back that past glory that you mentioned in your inauguration speech when you became Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And we have seen you do all different kind of things, and you have not dealt with our problem. Our problem is returning home to Ethiopia under the government of Emperor Haile Selassie I. Yes, that restoration, that is our emphasis. What you are doing today with all these other countries and also in Israel, we do understand it. So that's why we are asking for more clarity, but we need more action in the name of restoration of the government and the constitutional monarchy of Emperor Haile Selassie I. When you speak of the Battle of Adwa 1896 and you don't mention 1935 to 1941 when Emperor Haile Selassie I defeat fascism and Nazism and free Ethiopia, you don't mention that. So it still means that you are not giving Emperor Haile Selassie I his due. You have not brought back anything from the empire of Emperor Haile Selassie I in terms of education, in terms of curriculum. What are you doing? That's why we're asking for clarity. What are you doing in the interest of liberation and restoration of the government of Emperor Haile Selassie I? That's what we are asking you. And we are asking you to make steps to make that a reality in time. So what we are saying to you now in terms of clarity is that we don't understand what you are doing, because all that you are doing will come to naught if you do not bring Emperor Haile Selassie I in the whole thing. Yes, you have made a couple quotations from his Emperor Haile Selassie I's utterance and speeches. That is not enough. In this time, you need more concrete moves, more concrete establishment of Emperor Haile Selassie I's government. You should be contacting the Church of Haile Selassie I and the Imperial Ethiopian Royal Federation on that point of view to get us to aid and assist you, because from 1974 we have been fighting and agitating for restoration of the government of Emperor Haile Selassie I. Now that you are the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, you are our Prime Minister because we are Ethiopians. Yes, we are Ethiopians abroad. We are in exile. From long time ago, Emperor Haile Selassie I came to Jamaica 1966 April, and identified to the Parliament of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica that we are Ethiopians, we are blood brothers. But even though you're making attempts to unite back Eritrea, Ethiopian people, back with Ethiopia, you have not made any moves to suggest that you have us in the Caribbean here in Jamaica and in the whole third world. You don't make any move to show us that you want to bring that liberation, restoration. You exclude us out of the whole thing, Mr. Prime Minister. So we are saying to you today that the time is now. You must take some action, you and your government, so that we can be a part of the whole movement to liberate Ethiopia. We can aid you and assist you in that objective, in that sacred goal and that sacred objective. So we are saying to you, stop running up and down and doing things that at the end of the day are going to come to naught. Move to make Emperor Haile Selassie I's government the reality of the day by taking action, by communicating with us, so we can have a dialogue, so we can sit down at the table and organize this whole movement so that restoration of the government and dynasty, constitutional monarchy of Emperor Haile Selassie I can be in effect in Ethiopia. In this time, you can do it, Mr. Prime Minister. Have the courage, as my brethren June Anderson just tell you a while ago. My name is Abbot Eloi Christopher Graham at Church Haile Selassie I in Jamaica. So we are saying to you, Mr. Prime Minister, use the knowledge that you possess and the information that we have provided you and the assistance that we are giving you to make liberation, restoration of Emperor Haile Selassie I in this time a reality. So we need more clarity in terms of what you are doing and what you are saying. What do you mean? How do you bring back the glory and you have not done anything towards that liberation, restoration? So I'm not going to stretch it out long. I just want you to know that we are watching you, Mr. Prime Minister, and we want you to act in our accord in the name of liberation, restoration, and the dynasty and the government of Emperor Selassie I. That is what it means when you speak of the past glory of Ethiopia. When you speak of Emperor Menelik II and Ras Makenen, Emperor Haile Selassie I's father, you do not touch on Emperor Haile Selassie I's instrumentality in the liberation of Ethiopia 1941, May 5th. You don't speak of that. That is where you must put emphasis on and how you are going to accomplish that in this time, because Ethiopia right now and the whole of Africa is not free. So we are saying to you again, give us more clarity and more action in the interests of liberation and restoration of the government and the dynasty of Emperor Haile Selassie I. We are in Jamaica, 29 Oxford Street. Our phone number is 876-422-9888. And I say it again, we are in Jamaica from the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation and the Church of Haile Selassie I. With that, we say liberty in our nation. The Lion, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Blessed be Jah, Rastafari, Emperor Selassie I.
Yes, greetings from the Church of Emperor Haile Selassie I, the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation Organization. And this march movement been going on since September. And we've been pleading to the government of Ethiopia. One retired and we have a new Prime Minister now. And the reason why we attach ourselves to this Prime Minister because he said he want to return back to the past glory. And we all know that Ethiopian past glory is Emperor Haile Selassie I. And we have been here since 74 fighting and looking for that restoration of that dynasty. So when you say past glory, right away we attach ourselves to that because we know the past glory is Emperor Haile Selassie I. And we've been waiting to see you take some form of action towards that. And that hasn't been done openly so we could see it, and we also ask for you to contact us as the vanguard of the Ethiopian history and tradition and custom. And we haven't got that contact yet. So as he said, we need clarity upon what you are doing because you are doing things, you are making moves, you're attacking and you're going into Eritrea and other places and doing things where the past history of Ethiopia shows the dealings with these nations under the banner you're dealing with them is not going to work. It never worked before. The only banner you could deal with these nations under and bring them together as one is the banner of Emperor Haile Selassie I to make it work. And as the Emperor said of Ethiopia, His Majesty said that he remained Emperor of Ethiopia. Don't forget that. So if you remain Emperor of Ethiopia and you're going to bring back the past glory of Ethiopia, and that past glory is the Emperor, you have to deal with it. Must bring that up front and put that on the plate and talk about the restoration of that dynasty of the Emperor. So we are waiting to hear from you on concerning that restoration, and we are waiting to hear about what you are doing concerning these nations and these plans you are making right now, because we need to have a clarity and an understanding on it, because we are here from 74 fighting for this liberation and restoration. and Ethiopia and His Majesty is Ethiopia. There's no way around that. And like he said, he is the Emperor of Ethiopia, and your Emperor is your God. So if you're looking for salvation in any form, you must turn to your God for salvation. His Majesty, blessed be Jah, Rastafari, Empire Haile Selassie.
Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, one God. It's Abdiel Isan here at the Church of Emperor Haile Selassie I in Kingston, Jamaica. This message today that we're speaking on the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's statement in May, returning Ethiopia to its past greatness. And we here at the Church of Emperor Haile Selassie I and the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation know the past glory of Ethiopia, and that greatness and that glory of Ethiopia is Emperor Haile Selassie I. So we know Emperor Haile Selassie I ended slavery. He was the founder of the United Nations, or the Organization of African Unity as well. So he also worked deep in education, the airlines as well, developed and modernized Ethiopia. So when we speak of that past glory, that past greatness of Ethiopia, it must be of Emperor Haile Selassie I. Anything present from 74 to this time now, darkness in our time, killings, murder, bloodshed, everything. We know that today in this time. Our Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, we're asking you again to take action. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, myself personally, I would like to see you restore the curriculum of Emperor Haile Selassie I to re-educate the people of the past greatness of Ethiopia. As we know, Addis Ababa University was first Haile Selassie I University, and the curriculum was taken out. So to restore that past greatness, to restore the education of that past greatness, in this time, Abiy Ahmed, I'm asking for you to restore the curriculum of Emperor Haile Selassie I in the university to educate the population, the students, on the past greatness. Again, in this time, we know that that greatness in Ethiopia has come from Emperor Haile Selassie I. And with that being said, blessed be Jah, Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie I, living God.
Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, to Ethiopians at home and abroad, and to those who love justice and hate aggression. Today, from Jamaica, headquarters of the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation, the Church of Emperor Haile Selassie I, to the Prime Minister and the government, your administration. We see that there's a lot of things that you've been doing, and we believe that you have interests for the good of Ethiopia, yet still you fall short in certain things where that we're not getting understanding upon your statements you made in May. A full understanding that we can say, yes, you is a true royalist and an honorable Prime Minister. When you forget to mention His Majesty in 35 to 41, and yet you say that the Addis Ababa at the Battle of Ottawa, you put that before, and say that His Majesty is you're talking about the greatness. But if you're going to really talk about the true greatness, you have to mention 41, when you put back monarchy to Ethiopia, give Ethiopian again a victory of good over evil, fascism. Still dealing with this fascism rule, and that's that still pervades Ethiopia. We see you make moves with the Eritrean Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and the government and his government to bring back peace from over decades of border dispute and to open up a oneness with the people again. But yet we still need more than that, because we can see that, yes, things like that bring about unity. You know, even the declaration to make embassies in both countries, that is a very significant part of bringing about unity and bringing back greatness. Yet we still need more, because this has been decades now of a generation, even two, coming up on since the overthrow of His Majesty and the whole history of him out of Ethiopia. And in order for people to have an identity, they must have a root. Because we are here in Jamaica, he came and told us and let us know that we are one people. And we understand that because the history shows from the Zara Yacob period in the 14th century, 1490s, that there was a war, there was a trade between slaves, the Arabs and the Spaniards, of the African people. And we fought against that. We ended up here, so we know we're PLOs, prisoners of war, so we're Ethiopians. So we see ourselves as Ethiopians. That's why we speak to you today and honor you as our Prime Minister now. Doing the work that you're doing, not like all the others since the overthrow. You take a different stance, but yet still you fall short, which is to support the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation and the Church of Haile Selassie I in deeds, direct deeds, not one that leave us speculating, one that if you're really dealing with it. So to show that you really are for us and the restoration of the dynasty of Emperor Haile Selassie I government to Ethiopia, visit the church. When you visit America, make contact with the church, the international president of the IEWF, the Abuna, Emmanuel Fox, and the bishop, the Abuna of the church, and the international president, the same man, and make agreements, because it's the government in exile, the Crown Council as well, and make arrangements to empower the whole thing, that the whole of the region, not only Eritrea, but the whole entire African country, which we know was divided. It's all the same people. Understand that you can really fulfill that purpose that I believe you come for, you know. And with that, I'm going to say this: Adam Malak, which in Ethiopia means one God. Emperor Haile Selassie I, live it. Blessed be Jah.
Blessed to the Most High Emperor Haile Selassie I, and I Emmanuel. Give thanks to the Most High Emperor Haile Selassie I. Give thanks to the Church of Emperor Haile Selassie I. And I give thanks to the I Prime Minister, what he is crying about, you know, and try to identify the island, and try to break down the borders of all Ethiopia. I understand, but on to the 15th province of I, Jamaica, on the west. You understand? Yeah, all right. Constitution right of I, restoration of I, government, Emperor Selassie I. So, if you do all of them things, then I identify what you do right now. So, I'm about our own. You understand? Around here. So, if you do that, you must do our own. Yeah. That's the I thing. So, I Prime Minister asks Ethiopia. Give thanks to the Most High Emperor Selassie I. Blessed be Jah.